played. I'm seeing a draft overlay, so I think it started. Oh,
breathe.
Thank goodness.
Breathe, buddy.
We're there. We're there. G2 Esports up against SK Gaming, Game 1 of our second semifinals for Europe today. G2 starting off on the A side.
All right, they're going to ban out that Adachi right off the bat. We're not going to have any of that business this game.
Yeah, definitely expected and anticipated. We'll see if the Lyra will be next off the table. Keep that 100% draft appearance rate for both of these heroes.
I wonder when that's going to break. I feel like not anytime soon.
Yeah, when the next patch drops, maybe.
Lance, all right, G2 locking in that first hero. Very strong pick. Although its win rate, I believe you were saying, Bacon, was under 50%. It was seen in over 70% of games because of picks and bans.
Yeah, it's been seen a lot. I mean, the win rate was still very close to 50%. There's like this large group of heroes that have appeared in like over 15 games played each, but are all within that 45 to 55 win rate. And I feel like if you're in that bracket, 45 to 55%, that's pretty well balanced. You have to factor in, sometimes just better teams playing the heroes.
Within the margin of error for a good pick.
Exactly.
Let's put it that way. All right, SK, they're going to be getting Jetpacks as Arden again. I think this is a solid first pick, especially when you're picking into the Lance. You already know that you're not showing too much by doing it.
I mean, one thing we didn't talk about at all. Okay, this season we've seen a lot of Protector contracts and Dragonwood contracts. Like, they're everywhere. Almost every other game we're seeing them picked up. Jetpacks was the only person picking them up consistently if we look back to last season. And so he's really a trendsetter. And, I mean, sometimes to a fault, but I think more often than not, it leads his team to success.
The other interesting thing about the contracts, we've been seeing a lot of double contracts come out, which I think has been really interesting. It definitely makes you very strong early on, but it can delay your first item a little bit. So, some teams definitely willing to make that sacrifice.
All right, well, SK Gaming, they're going to be banning away Ringo. He's been sacrificed to the draft gods. G2, they're using their bonus time on the second ban here. Need to be sure they know what they want to do, because they're not going to have another chance to answer a pick.
That's interesting. Very interesting to see the Kestrel ban. I don't feel like that's a massive pick for SK, and it leaves them now the Black Feather available. I would not be surprised whatsoever if they grab Black Feather here. Kestrel's one of the big picks that we see against Black Feather, and there it is. He can get right past the Lance onto the back lines. It's a very, very strong pick for SK, and Tyrus has had great success with it thus far.
I mean, G2, if they've been analyzing the drafts of SK thus far through the tournament, they should know that this was an option. Maybe they have a plan to deal with the Black Feather. I mean, they use some bonus time here, too. It seems well thought out, but they've got to come up with something. Now, what would you pick to deal with the Black Feather?
This is tough. Honestly, because he was playing it to a very high level and out of the jungle. I feel like this, it could actually be a jungle Lance game.
Interesting. Wow, okay.
I mean, I'm not saying that I think they would do it, but I think it could be a way to shut him down. Like you take like a Calf Lance, that you're super durable. You can get past one of them. You're not going to get past both of them if you're trying to get into the back line. And Lance would dominate him early game.
All right,
I could get behind that, and I think you do need a lot of crowd control to take care of the Black Feather as well. But it's going to be Vox Fortress, so they're going to say, well, you want to charge into our back line, we're going to be looking to do the exact same thing to you.
Yeah. Well,
this is an interesting draft, though, from G2.
Can't run at us if we're running at you. I guess you could.
G2 is one of these teams who's been playing Fortress for a long time, and they haven't just been picking it into healers. So it certainly seems like something they're comfortable on.
Yeah. I'm going to be curious to see, again, if it goes. I assume it's going to go into the jungle position, just as a result of the comp, unless they're really going to look for this Crystal Vox or a double weapon. But I feel like the meta right now is just so strong on the weapon Vox that it's going to be weapon Vox Crystal Fortress with the Captain Lance.
Yeah.
I feel like that could actually be pretty dangerous for the Black Feather, too. If he tries to get on the back line, Fortress can quickly reposition on top of him, and Vox can just blow him up. Petal, last pick for SK Gaming, though. SK, a creative team also. They're certainly one who runs a lot of interesting stuff. Who's in lane? Is this Kvalifar and Black Feather?
I feel like it is with the Petal coming through, which is interesting because, again, Tyrus has been so good on the Black Feather, but the adaptability of SK, the ability to put picks in different spots. Kvalifar, you never know where he's gonna or not where,
I mean,
but what he's going to pick up.
it's a sign of the top teams when you take out a power pick, and a lot of people just see it as going one way, and they can just put it into the different position. We know K-Wallifar can execute on that Blackfeather.
All right, so has anything changed for you guys prediction-wise after seeing these drafts? G2 has some stuff they're super comfortable with, like the Fortress. They've got a Vox, which has an insane win rate. On paper, I think you could make the argument that they have the stronger draft here.
I like SK's draft. I think we'll see them try to engage and run at one of these targets. If it's Blackfeather, even if he's impaled, he's just going to Rose offensive backwards, wait for Vox to reveal himself on point, and then engage if it looks good or not. It seems pretty straightforward for them.
Yeah, I do like the draft from SK. I like the draft of both teams, but I like SK just because of their players and who's going to be playing these picks. I do put the edge still in their favor.
All right, well, this is going to be an interesting game for sure. Whoever wins this next series, this semifinals, is going to be going across to face Fnatic in the finals. If it's SK, it's a rematch of last week, so they're looking forward to that, I'm sure. Let's hand it on over to our shoutcasters. We've got Dalsy and Jingyi on the call.
Thank you, guys, and an exactly identical composition from SK that they played against Mouse yesterday in the quarterfinals, looking to dominate once more, but we saw G2 come through yesterday. Very strong takedown denial Esports, so it's definitely going to be a close one here. Both teams meeting in the middle of the map here at Xinyi, but I don't think any action is going to unfold.
No, not yet. I think that's a good idea to have these rotations coming from both of the teams, because I think both of these teams have been aggressive at times, especially in the early levels, but not this time, I'm afraid.
Nope, just going to be heading on to the backs there of your G2 SK, going to be putting the priority on taking away this Elder Treant. And I like this move here from G2. They're putting Hundor in the jungle with Dark Potato to take some of those camps here. Then he's going to go up to the lane and look to get some CS for himself. Doesn't look like he'll miss any. Nope. Ooh, just misses one in the end.
Jinxed him.
There. So, unfortunate. Yeah, jinxed him. Caster's Curse. Unlucky. But it's a strong move. It allows this box to just get a little bit of early gold onto him. Try and put him a little bit ahead of K-Wallifar.
Yeah, about 50 ahead right now. And it looks like we're going to be seeing this Rome Fortress. And I think something we commented on before is that the Rome Fortress isn't really that great at body blocking moves. Oh, K-Wallifar taking a bit of damage there.
Yeah, but on the mix side, Dark Potato also getting aggressed on in the jungle. Tyros just showing his force on this Petal. Very early damage, but Dark Potato manages to secure his Treant anyway, so it didn't actually work out. K-Wallifar dives forward, and he hurts Hundor just a bit, forces the potion as well. Of course, K-Wallifar with this Book of Eulogies going to be very sustained in the lane, unlike Hundor, who has to play from range.
Yeah, and it looks like I'm quite confident that this is going to be a weapon Blackfeather. And what's really good about the weapon Blackfeather matchup is that in a 1v1 situation, it's fantastic. You can really get into the back line, especially get onto Hunter, apply that Atlas Pauldrons, and it makes it very, very difficult. Because of that sustain, you'll be getting that Serpent's Mass, and then you'll be picking up that breaking point. It's relatively predictable what the weapon Blackfeather is going to build. And it's going to rely a lot on Dark Potato, being able to just get rid of K-Wallifar and just pushing him away.
Absolutely. Dark Potato are going to have to make sure that Hundar is safe and sound when it comes to, you know, protecting him with that Giffian's Wars, the Impales as well. Gonna go straight onto Tyros with that Impale, knocks out some of those Munions, but it does look like SK want to continue this trend of pushing into Dark Potato's jungle and trying to steal away some of these camps.
Yeah, it's just I think their part of the reason is they're trying to force Hundor to rotate down a little bit early, and we are seeing that right now. G2, they're moving in. And actually, Jetpacks might be a bit caught out there. They do miss the Impale, though.
Yeah, but he's still isolated from the team. He's going to be forced to run away, and first blood it goes to G2. A great start for them here as they force the rest of SK to completely disengage the fight. And I like this move from G2. As soon as the aggression comes through from SK multiple times, they know it's going to happen again. So they group up and make sure to punish for the aggression.
Yeah, they're very far forward right now. Actually, K-Wallifar, I don't know if this is a good idea. Managed to get some damage down. Oh, no. Oh, no, no.
Ooh, just about gets away there, but G2 continuing this trend. They're going to pull Tyros up to the lane to push back Hundor and Keanu here. Isn't going to find too much damage, but G2 already, they've got that 1,000 gold lead over SK here. I want to see how far they can push this lead if they continue the aggression.
Yeah, they definitely do. I think Kivalfar needs to keeps his eyes open and have those scout traps down, just in case we're going to be seeing those aggressive moves coming from G2, which they have been doing. It's been quite a tussle so far. Fairly follows the trend that we've been seeing from the previous games today, is that there's a lot of pressure being applied, but not really many kills being picked up as a result of it.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that point, especially both teams, all teams so far that I've witnessed in EU, they're definitely great at getting early advantages, but pushing them forward seems to be a bit of a hard point. I really want to see teams get a little bit mean, a little bit aggressive, and we're going to see that from G2 here as they go on in, straight onto SK. Kavalavar taking a huge damage, but the Fountain going to keep SK in the fight. They're looking to try and turn a little bit. G2 are forced back once more, but G2, they're trying their best to make these work, these aggressive plays.
Yeah, they really forced that fountain out from Jetpacks, and he managed to pick up that fountain really quickly. I think Keanu just has enough money now to pick it up, but he has prioritized other items with the contracts and also with the boots as well, so he is going to be getting that a little bit later. And I think it's so far a good start for G2. They're able to push back any kind of aggressive moves that SK are trying to make, and Kvalfar, especially on that weapon Blackfeather, is going to take him a little bit longer to ramp up compared to Hundor, especially with that healing. The fortress, the Truth of the Tooth there, could make things a little bit more difficult. But they're really focusing hard on Kvalfar.
Yeah, not quite able to find the engage, though Dark Potato going to be in a bit of trouble as here comes the spontaneous combustions from Tyros and that fountain being used to give Dark Potato a bit more health in this fight. SK showing that they're not out of it just yet. G2 may be the ones making the aggressive moves, but SK, they're certainly wanting to fight back, bite back. They're going to force G2 straight back to the turret.
Yeah, it's a good time for G2 to fight. Dark Potato has that tension bow, has that early tension bow, and it's going to be doing a lot of damage in the early parts of the game. And the thing about tension bow is that it does tend to fall off in the late game, and it just loses its effectiveness. So this is a good time for them to be trying to pick those fights, and they're certainly looking for the fight.
Yeah, Tyra's knocked against the wall, going very low here, Fountain. They're trying to turn it. Kavalavar's here as well, and Kavalavar in position. If you can just get onto Dark Potato, it will be a kill. There it is. And now looking for Keanu as well. The on point doesn't quite connect. No slows coming through, but it is another kill. This time over to SK as they style all over this G2 roster.
Oh, they definitely are doing that. They're seeing red. They're chasing up the kills. And I think that was a bit of what we saw there was a bit of an over-aggression coming out from SK. They went forward, coming out from G2. They went a little bit too far forward. The Crystal Sentry came out, and then they were forced to back away. And Dark Potato went down very quickly because although he has that tension bow, it's very much of not a one-hit wonder, but he goes in and then you have to back away and then you go in again. That's where you get the real damage coming out from that tension bow.
Absolutely. Very interested to see if Dark Potato can make this jungle Lance work. We did criticize the win rate of Lance earlier, but we don't need to harp on about it. It's really up to Dark Potato here, who's been around on G2 for the longest of times, you know, sticking with them through the tough times and the good times. Hopefully for G2, this could be the start of an uprise. First, they need to take down SK. They're going to group up here around this tri-bush. No one really wanting to pull the trigger just yet, but look at the level advantage that G2 have. They could look for a fight here. They have that attack with the pack to stick them to the teams, and that's exactly what's going to come out. Kavalavar stuck in the middle of it. Fountain to try and keep him up, but there's the way for it. Silenced on up. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. An Impale comes through, and Kavalavar fate sealed. Now looking for more as they go into Tyros. It's 2 kills for G2, and they're just going to walk away with a great start to that fight.
Yeah, Kvalfar just absolutely burst down there with that impale coming out from Dark Potato, that tension bow really coming through. And they're definitely going to be getting the gold mine out of that, even though Keanu and Dark Potato are looking a little bit lower. But that was a very good start coming out from G2. They've been quite aggressive so far. It looks like we might be seeing this double weapon coming out from G2. We might be seeing Dark Potato picking up an aftershock. We might be seeing him continuing along the weapon path. Difficult to say at this point. It looks like he's prioritizing a little bit more on defense there, which is a good decision to make. I think a lot of the teams we see is that they just go full out aggression and prioritize defense a little bit too late.
Yeah, no, you can see that SK are already keeping eyes on the fact that it is this double weapon power position here for G2. Armor on everyone already. Serpent's Mask completed for Kavalavar as well, so For G2, we're going to have to expect some Pierce to come through, perhaps, you know, get a bone sword going on at least one of these guys. Is Hundor going to get aggressed onto? This is going to be him just blown up, and Keanu nowhere to go. Eva completely taken down. It's going to be SK with a bit of bad blood here as they go for that second kill. Tyra's going to dodge away from that Impale. Just put the aggression back onto Dark Potato here. SK in a great position now. They should be able to start chunking down this turret, but an Impale, they have to watch out. This is weapon power lance. It's not that classical captain lance that you're used to seeing. So that will force SK back.
Yeah, they pick up 2 kills there. And so even though you look at the scoreboard, 3-3 right now, G2 are still a little bit ahead in terms of goal, 2k ahead. And we do see this flare gun being picked up, which is good. I do like the defense being prioritized. Jetpacks is one of those captains who always manages to litter the whole map with scout shots. But hang on, that turret.
I go down, and that's going to be Kavalava rooted up as well. It's a kill for G2. They make it look easy here. No way Kavalava was escaping that in his wildest streams. And now, for G2, they can just look to put the aggression on, keep it up as they look for the second turret, steal away some of these jungle camps as well. That tension bow just dancing right through that turret. It falls. Wow, G2, 2 turrets and a kill. If that Impale landed, it would have been a second kill. They're going to be pretty happy with what they had. They can just walk away and look to just buy up with those massive gold that they've built up.
Well, that's the thing with this double weapon. It's very strong in the early game. It does a lot of damage, and we're certainly seeing this coming out from G2 right now. But SK, I'm pretty sure they can just shake it off and just continue, because I think they've got the late game advantage. Definitely with Kvalifar there. He's not quite at that breaking point yet, but I think when he does, they're going to be in a much better position to be picking those fights.
Yeah, no, certainly not out of the woods yet. G2 here, they're going to have to keep in mind that for SK, they can start scaling up. But I'm interested in hearing what your thoughts are as far as these compositions go as we start to hit, you know, this mid-game stage. Does SK's lineup start, you know, bouncing back, or do G2 have the late game?
Difficult to say. I think both of them have their certainly late game advantage. So if you look at G2 and if you look at Fortress, I think he does really well in the late game. That attack of the pack is very difficult, and it forces your opponents to try and clear the walls as fast as possible. Oh, there they are.
G2 gonna have to cut you off here as they're going in. Tyra's in a lot of trouble as he gets silenced on up. And that's gonna be Hundor saying, "You're mine." Next will be Kvalifar. Blocks the Impale, so they're just gonna turn to Jetpacks. A double kill here coming through for Hundor. G2 showing their aggression as they make it 6-3. They may even look to try and take this choke turret as well.
Questionable positioning coming out there from SK in that team fight. So we saw Jetpacks using his gauntlet down, catching all 3 members of G2, and what that should have been was the perfect opportunity for Pestle just to back out the turret. But instead, I don't know if this was a misclick, but Tyra's actually trampolined right into the middle of all 3, which is not the best place that you want to be, and as a result went down very quickly. And gotta say, positioning played a lot in that team fight, and for SK just wasn't there.
No. SK definitely not. They're looking to put the aggression back onto G2 here. Perhaps maybe catch someone off as they're going very deep for this. G2 have that Crystal Sentry, could look to turn straight onto Kvalifar, and that's exactly what they're doing. Fountain comes up, SK split completely up against the wall. Tyra's getting knocked on out, and look at this damage. Hundor won. Hundor looking for his second, but he will get blown up just as he gets it. That leaves Kvalifar in a position where perhaps he can find a kill onto Keanu. On point, gonna land onto Dark Potato, but Kvalifar has to be so careful how he goes for this. The attack of the pack comes out. Now Kavalivar's on the back line, but he's gonna blow up Keanu. And now he's going for Dark Potato as well. Dark Potato, though, he's going to go for the fight. Impale lands. That will be the ace coming through for G2.
That was the ace, and it was just, the fight went everywhere. And I think part of the reason was Kvalifar tried to fight it with the attack of the pack, so he was able to pick up 1 kill there onto Keanu, but just wasn't enough to pick up the kill on Dark Potato. If you look at what Dark Potato's building, he's got the tension ball already, and he's going for the aftershock. It's going to be a very, very bursty build, and we can certainly see its effects when every time he lands an Impale or a Githian wall, it's just doing so much damage. So for SK, their main objective is to try and avoid those. Right now, Dark Potato's doing a really good job of landing them.
Definitely has this weapon power lance in the jungle. It's becoming a massive threat here for SK. They cannot sleep on it. Is G2 currently very far in the lead, almost 10,000 gold, currently sitting at 8,000 as we come up to this 15-minute mark, and it will be the Kraken Unleashed when we do hit it. Looks like G2 not done yet. They want to go in onto SK, but that Gauntlet going to be going down. Jetpacks just disengages the fight immediately. Now G2 will fall back, allow SK a bit of room.
SK really falling behind now, 8k gold behind. They've got a lot of vision down, but right now I don't think that vision is serving too much because I feel like SK are really picking fights on G2's side of the jungle, and that's really not the ideal place for them. So I think they really need to move away from that. Like Valfar, once he gets a little bit more of those defense items, finishes that Aegis off, and I think a big priority will be the Atlas Pauldrons because he's going to be trying to dive onto Hundor. You don't want Hundor building up those breaking point stacks, and if you can get the Pauldrons on him, that's an ideal opportunity there for SK.
Well, we are coming up to this Kraken spawn. G2 will be putting the pressure onto SK here. Currently a interesting dynamic. G2, they didn't fare too well in their games last week, but they're certainly stepping up here now, looking to make it work. Of course, they did go up against Cyclone in their first game, but here it is, the engage from G2 as the Kraken spawns. Jetpack's in a lot of trouble, but it looks like they might just be turning this around as Hundle, he's going extremely low. No, Tyras gets bursted down. Kavalava rooted up, but the Gauntlet going to stop everyone. Maybe Kavalava can turn this around, looking for more, but it is Hundle with the double kill, and he can just get in range. It will be a triple. Kavalava doing the damage. There it is, the ace comes through for G2, and now this Kraken, no, they're not even going for it. They say the choke point turret is ours.
Oh no, they're going for the Kraken. I'm gonna say that was a very that was a very fearless start coming up from Valfar. Actually, I think a little bit of miscommunication there because I think he went straight in and his teammates were hanging back a little bit. Didn't really have that backup there. But I think one thing that we really need to be seeing coming up from SK, particularly Jetpacks, is that Crucible. The wait for it is not being blocked, and it's really catching them out, especially the Petal, who isn't necessarily able to get away from the fights every single time.
Yeah, absolutely. Tyra's just caught between that rock and the hard place, being engaged upon consistently by Dark Potato. The Impale's landing, and it is certainly becoming a bit of trouble here for SK now. This Kraken about to march down the lane, and we've been in this position, we know it all too well. This is where teams start to run away with the game as long as they can get that choke point down and don't get caught out by a massive fight.
Yeah, they're certainly biding their time, and I'm gonna say it's not been too great for SK so far. They're not really winning those fights, and I think they're really being caught out here by the attack of the pack and that wait for it. There's just a lot being thrown at them, and what you really want is the opportunity to force that attack of the pack back away, disengage, get rid of the wolves, and then go back in. Oh, hang on, here we go again.
Yes, the Gauntlet Wall's going down as Kavalava done and dives straight on into the fight, but he's not going anywhere. Bursted by Hundor, and now Hundor can look to clean up as he goes for Tyrus here. That's the Kraken taking the base. The ace, it comes through. A triple kill for Hundor, and that will be it for them. It's going to be G2 taking game one. Long live Hundor!
Long live Hundor. What a fantastic game coming out from G2. And they were very strong throughout. I've got to say, maybe the contraption wasn't the best choice. I think prioritizing